This is going to be just a quick rundown of how I managed to use AAs on this map. As such, this is Zavod 311. It's not going to be perfect, but it works for me. So anything that I can maybe give to you to help you out, maybe worth having a look at. So first of all, if I'm playing on the US side, I'm only going to be looking at holding these points here, and anything past that gets a little bit more risky, and I'll go into that later. But if you concentrate on holding those 4 there, then it only leaves 2 for the opposite team. So the ticket bleed should allow you to win. It's important not to go too far, because every vehicle that comes from the opposite side, usually from my experience, only hangs around on certain paths and only goes in so far, just like I would from the other side. Don't get me wrong, you're going to get games where they come out, they're right up on the other side of the map, but it's a rare occurrence. Now, these are the only possible routes I would take. It does go all the way up to B, but it all depends on the enemy team and how well they can use their armor. On most games, I would probably consider anything that goes past this yellow line here to be dangerous, and anything towards your side a lot more safe. Now, this game happens to be one of those cases. Everyone on this hill in front of me here is stopping me from getting past all the way through this match. Plenty of engineers keep coming and bombarding me. It's not so much from tanks, but the tanks always stay up on the roadside, which is slightly to my right, to my left now. But yeah, engineers keep coming up there. So if you can't get past, probe what you can, do what you can, and pull back out. Danger is always something you stay away from in an AA, because you're quite squishy, not too squishy, but a little squishy. It's important to just get in, do what you can, and then get out. Now you can see I was hit there from a rocket. I don't know where it came from. Turns out it comes from the roof there. I see it come down, so I need to leave now. I'm on 51 health. I do still have my African protection, but I don't want to use it if I can help it. So I'm pulling myself back out, gonna reevaluate everything, and then go back in and try probing again. And before I go back in, I'll again check my large map, see where I can come in, where the threat is, and hopefully get through a little further or a little easier. Now, again, you're in an AA. If you see a chopper like that, shoot at it. Don't leave it there and concentrate on infantry. Take down the choppers first, that is your job. Now you'll see me going back in again now and having a quick check of the large map to see if I can see where tanks are. And once again, I'm going to try my luck, see where I can go. Now I can see a BTR right there on C flag. I'm not going to try and fight that, so I'm going to once again push the C side and see where it goes. Now I've just spotted a man there, so it's important to remember that you can blow up walls. Learn what's destructible. I can take out this wall there with the Zunis, and there we go, kill. Remember that certain things can be destroyed, so if something's trying to hide from you, you can most likely take it out and take him out in result. Now it feels pretty safe up here. It doesn't look like there's any immediate threats in front of me, but if you notice, D flag is actually being lost. So I'm not going to leave this area yet. I'm going to hold here and see if I can help bring this flag back before I do anything else. Now we've started to recap D, so I'm about to leave and go and check C, because it's once again not our control. So I'll have a little look, but initially I don't think I find any threats that I can deal with. I think they're all underground. And they on the minimap you can see them actually in the center moving towards D, so I come back again. Now, problem is I have a tank firing at me, and I can't fight that tank, so I have to move away. I don't run out yet because I've still got 100 health. I go back to C, and there's a few things there I can deal with before I need to reevaluate anything else. It's also good to take note that there was a tank, a friendly tank, on the C side, so I can push that way with assistance from that tank.
Objective Charlie has been neutralized. I say again, Objective Charlie has been neutralized.
Now I've noticed there that rockets are being fired from a rocket tank, and I can't see that rocket tank on the minimap, so I'm going to assume it's an enemy rocket tank. It's probably not a good idea to be bunched up with other vehicles, because that's easy pickings for a rocket tank. A lot of vehicles in one place are quite tempting to fire your rockets at. So I'm trying to separate myself from the other vehicle that's quite close to me.
We've just taken objective Bravo.
Now in a moment I hear an RPG whiz past me. Now because of that, I've moved myself into the side of the building so they haven't got a line of sight on me. I need to be able to actually see where the threat is coming from before I can put myself back out. There's another one, just went straight past me again, so I'm feeling a bit nervous now because I know there's a lot of people trying to hit me. Now this is a prime example of why you need to check the rear as much as possible. This guy gets a, was it 34 hit off on me, which isn't too bad. It could have been a lot worse, could have went up to 50, but I'm still going to play it safe. I think I'll move out and I'll repair myself in a place where there's no threat. Now luckily for me, someone else starts repairing for me, so I don't need to get out and do it myself. But yeah, otherwise I'd be repping this thing back to 100, then I would be going back in and probing some more. Now what you'll see for some time here now is me just trying and testing all the time. There's a lot of RPGs that keep coming at me from D side, so I eventually reevaluate and go back to the other side, but it's something that I can't get past. There's too many people are using rockets. It doesn't even matter if it's infantry and I can take them out easily. If there's too many of them, they can screw me up. So I'll keep coming in, reevaluating, come back out and repairing if I need. If I can't get past that way, I'll check the map. I'll check the other side, I'll watch the minimap constantly, and just keep pushing until I can break through. Now paying attention to sound is also really important. You'll notice that I hear a chopper fly overhead and I start to look up, but I don't because I notice on the minimap that it's friendly. If I didn't see anything on the minimap, I would have kept looking until I found it and shot it down.
Now control objective Delta.
Now, still a lot of RPGs coming my way, so I'm gonna reevaluate everything and see if there's an easier way to get in. Pull up the big map, notice this tank onto the north, so I want to make sure that don't get line of sight on me. So I do a little more probing because I've got a bit of time before it gets there, and then I pull a little bit further back out so that it can't get a shot on me. Now I'm constantly checking our minimap to see where that tank is. You can see it coming a little further down towards D, and well, in that general area. So I'm a little dubious. I've got the road there ready to run out if I need to. Plus I've got these RPGs coming at me, so things are not looking too good for me to stay there. So after dealing with a few more little stragglers that's hanging around C and D, I do actually manage to get past C towards the B side, but now you'll start to see why it isn't so safe on this side compared to how it is on the other side of C and D.
Objective Bravo has been neutralized. Heads up! Enemy
Now move forward here and take a little glance up the road and spot that chopper at the same time, but ideally I wanted to look if any tanks were coming up. I didn't see anything, so I think I can sit here and try and deal with this chopper, but I've moved myself back past those broken down tanks on my right and I'm using those as cover. I move out a little bit more, but I spot a tank on the map and see a shell come my way, so I've gone straight into third person and I'm out of there because I can't deal with that tank. And you can see how quickly and how beneficial it is to actually have the first person really close to be able to turn it on, because I mean I got straight out of there in seconds. And doing it in first person, it wouldn't have been quite as easy. So it's really handy to have that ability to switch to first person really close to all the other buttons you're using. Now I've also noticed from my last check of the map that all the tanks are around the backside of C and D and mostly holding on B. So even if I get past C and D, I'm not going to be able to go any further because they're all up there. So after a little check of the area, I make the decision to go back and help on F. I was holding off to see if F would be capped on its own because it takes time to travel down there, and if they capped it, then I'd have to come back and it would just be a waste of my time, to be honest. But yeah, I can't see any threats on C and D, so I do make a decision. Right, F is still not being recapped. Let's go and sort this out. Now you're about to see another situation where third person is really handy. There's a lot of containers here that people with C4 can hide behind, and I need to be able to see them. They can creep up on me very, very easily. So putting yourself in third person and being able to just check around the area quickly and have more of a better field of view, it keeps you alive very often. So it's something to take into account. If you're close to a corner or a place, at any kind of place where someone with C4 can jump out on you before you have time to react, then keep that camera spinning all the time. Keep checking the minimap all the time. Third person, if there are a lot of different angles it can come from, third person definitely helps. So it seems that the time that I'd gone up to F, C and D had been retaken, so we have some work here to try and get these two back again. Once again, I'm not concerned in pushing past these points. I'm just going to clean up as many people as I can here and allow everybody on the ground to go in and recap.
Objective Delta is now neutralized. Objective Charlie is under our control. Looks like we got a hostile chopper operating.
Now this tank here is just taking a shot at me. He's been hanging around E for a while and I didn't notice him. So because he's hit me and I've noticed he's there now, I'm putting myself out of line of sight. It's all about being safe, right? But unfortunately for me, when I move forward, thinking I'm safe here, BTR rolls around the corner. Now I've had to use my active protection because I'm really, really weak, 37 health, and I need to go big time because I've got threats both sides now. You'll notice me turn my view to face all the way backwards first before I get out, and the reason for that is that when you get out of a vehicle, you always get out the way that your turret is facing. So if I put the turret facing backwards and then get out, I'm effectively using my own vehicle as cover from snipers and such while I repair it, and it's a lot safer. So always remember to face away from the danger before you get out to repair. Now you'll notice the vehicle in front of me is in fact the enemy's AA, which we somehow have stolen. There's no point me fighting next to that AA, we're just going to be scrapping over kills, so I decide to move to the other side and split it up. The fact that we're both in the same place makes no sense. There's no real strength in numbers with 2 AAs. 2 tanks, yes, 2 AAs, not really. So I figure I'll split, let him deal with that side, I'll deal with the other side. As you can see now in a moment, the AA I just split from has come back over this side, whether he was under attack or just wasn't really thinking about things, I don't know. But in my opinion, there's no point us both being in the same place once again, so I'm thinking I'm going to try and make a push now. There's a BTR there, gone directly into C. I'm going to hopefully get around it. Use all these rocks as cover. It looks pretty clear up in front, nothing on the map, nothing in my thermal. So I'm going to make the blast to try and go in and get to B. Now, I'm very, very nervous up until this point now, because this is where bad things usually happen. I need to keep an eye on the road to my right here, because if a tank spawns, it's coming down that road. Constantly looking that way. In a moment you'll see a shell come past, and that is my indication that there's something coming. There it is. So I know there's something there. Check the map to see if I can see it. I can't see anything, so I put my head down, and I'm thinking I need to leave now. But unfortunately, I do that. And from this point on, it's game over. I'm not willing to give up the AA just yet, so I do what I can, and then I just get out. Now take note of the direction I'm facing when I get out. I don't want any of this stuff to hit me when I get out, so I turn the turret far right, get out, and use the whole thing as cover. So all in all, I managed to get myself up to 39 kills before the AA went down. And most of the time, hold C, D, E, and F, which is putting us in the lead by holding those flags. See there, tap fire is essential. Checking the minimap, also essential. It allows me to check this guy's coming around the corner. And now I need to reevaluate everything and try something else, because now I'm on foot. Now, for the most of the time now, before I die, I'm working off the minimap. You'll see every kill is basically based on what I can see on that minimap. I'm constantly looking at it. Even if my shooting here is atrocious, I still manage to not get myself killed in stupid situations. There's plenty of people up there on B. I know I can't cross over. It's just going to be a death trap. So I decided to go into C rather, and then go underground over to the D side and see if I can get in that way.
I spotted a hostile vehicle east of your location. Objective Foxtrot has been neutralized. Just taken objective Foxtrot. There appears to be an enemy vehicle west of where you are. You're no longer in control of objective Delta.
I've got a squad member far east. I do try and spawn on him to get myself up to AB side, but unfortunately he dies. My only other option is to fall back to C and D and try and get to B that way. I get a spawn on a squad member on D because it's dropping, and I put myself back on it. Unfortunately, this happens, but I did manage to catch the flag before it went, so that was something. Once again now, back from the spawn screen, I need to reevaluate things to see if there's another way to get up to B. Now, it turns out that a BTR pops up on F, and I take that. Reason is the resistance on that hill on B is strong. It's been quite strong all the way through this game, so I figured if I take some armor, I can just get straight through and get myself towards B and hopefully try and cap that. Now what I should be doing here is fighting a little bit closer to B. Unfortunately I'm not capping. Now if I was paying attention properly, I should have put the vehicle a little closer and started to burn on B. And obviously then if we cap it, it's a spawn point. But it was stupid of me really, I didn't do it.
Spotted a hostile soldier. Objective Delta has been neutralized. Spotted a hostile tank.
Now I've been locked on by a chopper, and as a result I've had to pop my APS. As I do that, I notice on the minimap there's a tank coming into B. I don't have any protection now, so once again I need to back out. Turns out there's some infantry here fighting, so something to deal with. But again, name of the game is be safe. A BTR is coming straight down here. Luck has it that it's really, really weak, and he drops. But again, playing it safe was key to everything. Picking your fights is essential, really.
Spotted a hostile soldier. Heads up, enemy sniper east of your location. We have now taken objective Alpha.
I just got hit by 2 rockets. A little worried because I'm on 51 health. See a guy there, notice he's an engineer and he's prepping to shoot at me, so it really is time to go. I've been hit again, 29 health, I've got to get out of there. I've popped ABS because if any rockets come at me while I'm going down this road, they're going to take me out. So once again, I'm putting the turret to the back and starting to rep using the BTR's cover.
I have eyes on a hostile machine gunner east of your location. Come on. I arrived on enemy heavy armor east of your current location. I spotted a sniper. We have what appears to be an enemy tank located east of your position.
Now here's another advantage where I like thermal, you can see explosives. That little white box there could have been a mine, could have been C4, but it's enough for me to be able to see it. It's a lot more difficult to see those things without thermal. This is another massive reason why I like using thermal over zoom.